Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeev Bhatia again, and we are back with a new video. So all of you have started preparing for your CLAT and AILET examinations, and a lot of people have been focusing on these examinations, and some of you are just into the race to start preparing for these exams. So there are a lot of factors that you need to take care of. All the top five law schools I'm talking about, say NLS Bangalore, Nalsar Hyderabad, NLIU Bhopal, NLU Jodhpur, NLU in Delhi, if you are looking for Gandhinagar and also Raipur, Lucknow. Some of these colleges are amongst the top 5 to 10 colleges. So if you are someone who wants to get into these colleges, there are certain tips and tricks that you need to use to go ahead and crack these exams. These are not a lot straightforward exams. You need to have a strategy before you are entering these exams, and this will help you to crack the paper really well. So before we move ahead, I request all of you to please hit on the like, share and subscribe button for the regular updates of all the people who are coming here, so that will help you to stay updated. And if you are not a part of our Telegram channel, do make sure that you are subscribing to our Telegram channel also. Now, coming to the first part, that is very important, is that you have to understand why are you giving this exam. Okay, what are you trying to achieve from it. ओके तो ये दो रीजन आपको अपने दिमाग में बड़े क्लियर रखने पड़ेंगे कि आप इस एग्जाम में क्यों बैठ रहे हैं. क्या आप इसको एक ऑप्शन की तरह ट्रीट कर रहे हो या ये आपकी प्रायोरिटी है. यू वांट टू बिकम अ लॉयर इन द corporates around, you want to join a law firm, you want to get into litigation, you want to go for judiciary. Some basic mindset should be there before you are going for the paper, right? So understanding why are you giving the paper and also what are you trying to achieve out of it. These are the two questions you need to answer yourself first before starting the preparation. Now, there are only 85 days that are left for CLAT in 2022 because it is on 18th of December, right? So 85 days dot that are remaining to your CLAT examination. So what you need to do in these 85 days is what we are going to discuss today. Now, there are certain things, certain questions that will be coming to your mind. Is it mid-September? Is it too late? We are entering the end of September. Is it too late? No, it's not too late. So earlier when the crash course used to happen for students, it used to be only for 40 days or 35 days. You are getting twice the time of that exam. So when people used to go for the crash course, it was a shorter period of time. Now there are almost 3 months that you have in your hand. So this is definitely possible and it is a crackable scheme that you can look for if you are going for the CLAT or AILET examination, right? How many hours should you put in for cracking the exam? Now, this is a very critical question that needs to be answered by each and one of you here, right? So it depends on your personality and your way of learning, but I say at least 3 to 4 hours at this stage should be invested by you if you are planning to get into law schools in the country, and at least the premier law schools I'm talking about. Okay, so you have to see that you have to put in a little more time now because the time that is left to the exam is very less. So the hours that needs to be invested in the paper increase in nit by nit. So you need to make sure that every day that you are losing, you have to increase your number of hours of studying. So do make sure that you start as soon as possible. Now, is it an alternate to IIT or NEET? Is CLAT is easier to crack? Yes, it is a very fair, good alternative to IIT and NEET also. And CLAT is easier to crack than IIT and NEET. That is very true. Why? Because there are 70,000 students writing the paper. Somewhere around 65,000 comes for UG and 60,000 are in the final, they sit for the paper. So out of 60,000 people, there are 2,900 seats that you are eligible for. So definitely there is less competition as compared to IIT and NEET, but still there is a lot of competition. So you have to understand that also. Now coming to the next part here is that what should be your step-by-step strategies that you need to go for your CLAT. Now almost all of you might have completed with your first term examination, or you say that end term exam that happens during September. So all of you would be done with those exams. So that is why now you can start full focusedly on your CLAT prep. Now coming to current affairs. Now current affairs is a very, very important part and it cannot be skipped for your CLAT 2022. So you have to start with your current affairs and complete it in next 7 to 8 days. That should be your strategy if you are looking to crack the paper, because if you will complete the current affairs in next 7 to 8 days, you will be able to revise all of them also. There will be sufficient time that you can invest in revising those current affairs. So skipping the current affairs is not an option. You have to study current affairs every day and invest some of your time of your CLAT preparation on current affairs also. Now, in this 8 to 10 days, you have to also see that you are covering some of the basics of all the subjects, right? So like if you are studying law, we will discuss what are the subjects like torts, contracts, what are the basics you need to cover up. We will talk about that in the future slides. So basics needs to be covered. Some of the topics need to be covered from these all the subjects so that you have an idea that what is going on in the exam. Now, during this time when you are covering all of these exams and all of these papers and all of these subjects that you are studying, you need to make sure that you are managing your class 12th also. Now, you have to understand that once your CLAT is done, you will be hitting the mark of your first pre-board that will happen in your schools, right? So you have to balance it really well that when you end with your CLAT exam also, you are able to cope up with your 12th studies. It is very, very important that you get above 80% in your 12th standard, because that is what is a recommendation that I give to each and every student. Don't get misled that CLAT के फॉर्म में लिखा है कि 50% या 45% होनी चाहिए आपकी, so you will be eligible for the paper. Don't think that and go for your 12th, right? You need to get more than 80% for your bright future, because some of the places might ask you for your 12th percentage to be above 80%. So do make sure that you are trying to balance your class 12th also and trying to score above 80%. अगर उससे नीचे आते हैं तो आपकी eligibility को कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, but the more the merrier, the better, right? So you get above 80%. That is a recommendation from my end to all the students who are watching this video. Now coming to the next part is that what you should do in October. So the October should be fully focused on your sectional test. You start with your mocks. You 7 to 8 days you are studying, then you can start with your mocks, right? You have to start writing mock tests. I will tell you how many mocks you have to write, but we will talk about that. But analyzing the mock is also a very important aspect of it, right? Just giving the mocks is not going to solve the problem. You have to analyze the mocks also. That means that अगर आप एक बार mock solve कर लेते हैं, तो आप उसको check भी करें कि हर question का answer जो आपने दिया, was it matching to the kind of explanation you were trying to put in? That is what a question that you need to answer there by doing all the analysis also. Now making sure that you have achieved the basic level of expertise. ठीक है कि आपको इतनी expertise है कि आप पेपर लिख लोगे and you have a basic level of expertise in almost all the sections. Now coming to the next part is that after December the focus should be board exams, because आपका CLAT का पेपर, AILET का पेपर उससे पहले हो जाएगा, तो आप दिसंबर के बाद आराम से बोर्ड एग्जाम्स के ऊपर पूरा फोकस कर सकते हो, एंड देयर विल बी नो अदर dilemma or like things that you have to take care of. It will be a straight line that your main aim is to give the boards, right? So that is what you can do, and also prioritize your CLAT preparation right now in the month of October also. Now coming to November till CLAT, right? Now in this time, current affairs will play a very, very crucial role. If you are a student of Pratham Test Prep for current affairs, I would say that there are only two things you have to do, right? First is your current affairs compendium, and the second thing is legal current affairs. These are the two things that we are providing you, and you can also read all of them very carefully because it will cover all the legal news that are there for you. Now, in November, you have to try to excel in all the mocks that you're giving, and you have to give as many as mocks possible. And secondly, you have to practice all the variations that are possible. So you need to make sure that you are taking care of each and every type of question that is arising in these topics of maths, logical reasoning, right? They tend to have a lot of variations. and lot of permutations and combinations that the question can be put up in. So do make sure that you are practicing all of these variations very carefully and not skipping on them. Okay. Now give your complete time to CLAT and AILET in this time. Obviously, your priority is going to a law school, so do make sure that you are prioritizing it while you are preparing for it. Now, the last leg is full of pressure, okay? Because you might have feel the pressure that your school के exam भी आ रहे हैं, pre boards भी आने वाले हैं, और CLAT का exam भी आ रहा है. There will be a lot of pressure that will build up in this time, but you need to make sure that you keep yourself really calm and also content during the time when you're preparing for this paper. The more you take stress, the less you will be able to study. So take pressure on the time when it is required, but not during your preparation time. So do make sure that you are keeping yourself calm and steady, and you keep studying towards your goal of going to a law school. That's it. That's all you need to keep in your mind while preparing for CLAT 2022. Now, consistency is the key. Right? What do you mean by that? That means that you have to study every day. You have to spend your time in studying this CLAT paper every day. Right? You have to do current affairs. You have to do logical reasoning. You have to go for general knowledge. You have to keep yourself updated and also keep practicing on maths. Right? If someone is not good at mathematics, what should they do in this paper? I will talk about that also. Now, mathematics, that is quantitative techniques. What should a person do in quantitative techniques? So you have to practice questions. That is definitely important. Leaving the section of mathematics will be a vulnerable mistake that you will do. So don't do that mistake. Please make sure that you are attempting the section. There are only 13 to 17 marks worth of mathematics that will come in your paper. So do make sure that you are studying math. Now, most of the people here or all around I have talked to think that people going to study law are mostly from humanities stream, right? Most of the people think that way because it's a BA, LLB, Bachelors of Art law course. So they think that most of the people are going from humanities background. But you'll be surprised that most of the people going to these law schools are from science background. So they are already good at maths, they are good at analytical reasoning, they are good at logical reasoning. So if you are someone who has left maths in their 10th standard, do make sure that you are giving a little more effort in mathematics and improving it, that आप अपने competition से लड़ पाओ वहाँ पे, right? So maths is a very, very important thing, and also make sure you are practicing all the variations that will help you to understand every kind of question that exists in that topic. Okay, very careful. Now, logical reasoning is the subject and mathematics that will require consistent effort. You have to solve few questions every day to keep yourself into practice. Train yourself for accuracy first, right? Make sure that you are practicing for accuracy. अब कोई यहाँ पे जो प्रथम स्टूडेंट्स बैठे हैं, आपको मैंने बताया लीगल कंपेंडियम एंड ऑल्सो you have to study your monthly compendiums for your GK. Now also you have to make a revision plan, and also the people who are not the student of Pratham, that's absolutely fine. You can go and read books like Pratyogita Darpan, Competition in Focus. You can read a little bit of blog posts, but they will not help you. If someone tells you to read live law and bar and bench, it's not going to help you out. So you have to read Pratyogita Darpan and also some of Jagran Josh, Competition in Focus. These are the places where you need to go and find your GK affairs, right? I'm sorry guys, I extremely apologize for this. So you have to plan your GK regarding that. Do make sure that you are reading all of them very carefully. Okay, so you have to churn out the right kind of general knowledge that is important for you. Don't try to read all the newses that are there. Sometimes sports newses and economic newses might not be important for you. So do make sure that you are choosing the right kind of current affairs or general knowledge that you need to focus on. Okay, if you are not able to do that, you can definitely give us a call on 5x9755392, and you can have a conversation with us, fix up a counseling, get help, get mentorship, and get on the right track. Okay, don't choose the wrong track just because you were not able to talk to someone, right? If you need to talk to someone, just give them a call and have a conversation. Our counselors will be happy to help you. They will guide you better also, and they will give you some sense that you are not able to make right now. Okay, so do make sure that you are giving us a call also. Now, legal aptitude. Legal aptitude is a very important section. According to CLAT consortium, they say that there is no requirement for you to know law, basically to go on and solve your legal aptitude section. But it is always recommended to have the basic kind of knowledge that is required to crack this paper, that is constitutional law, criminal law, law of torts, law of contract, miscellaneous law, which includes Hindu Marriage Act, some provisions of CRPC and CPC also. You might see them very rarely, but they're still there. And also international maritime laws, right? They talk about your economic zones, maritime borders, and all those things. So there are some of the things that will be covered in miscellaneous also. Now, previous year question paper is very, very important. Don't skip on them. You will learn how to solve your principle and fact-based questions, and those principle and facts are almost remaining the same in your recent CLAT exam also. So don't think that previous year question will not bring any change to your preparation. It will play a very, very important role in your preparation. Now, carefully reading all the questions here, right? Because law के अंदर एक word भी change होने से पूरा meaning change हो सकता है. So reading very carefully here will make all the difference. So you need to make sure that you are reading all the questions very, very carefully, and you are trying to find the right principles that are there in those passages, and also you are marking what each of the passage means. So that will help you to revisit and also understand what you need to do in those passages. Now, coming to planning your mock test. Now, you need to give at least 1 to 2 mocks per week till your exam gets done. And for AILET, you can give 3 to 4 mocks. That is 1 mock per week that you need to make sure for your AILET also, right? Give sectional tests during these times to practice all the kinds of variations that are there for you. So these are some of the basic tips that you definitely need to follow if you're looking to crack the paper. Now, this is the most important thing. You have to find the right strategy that how are you going to solve the paper. आप पेपर सॉल्व कैसे करने वाले हो, आपको ये भी तो पता होना चाहिए कि आप कौन सा सेक्शन पहले करेंगे, कौन सा सेक्शन बाद में करेंगे. You need to figure this out before you go for the paper. So you need to see that what are the sections you are comfortable with, what is the time that you hit fatigue, that you are not able to understand a lot of things, right? So you need to make sure कि आप ये सब चीजों पे ध्यान रख के जा रहे हो, right? You don't need to make any mistakes while you are going for the paper कि आप वहां जाके एक बार ट्राई कर रहे हो कि मैं कौन सा सेक्शन पहले करूं या बाद में. आपको ये पहले से ही पता होना चाहिए कि आपको कौन सा सेक्शन पहले करना और कौन सा सेक्शन बाद में. So that is how you have to make a plan that how you're going to solve the paper. Okay, then mock analysis. I told you analysis is a very, very important part of any mock. So you need to see that you are analyzing these mocks very carefully, finding your weak sections. If you are stagnated, you need to find what are the type of questions you are not able to solve. आपको कौन से क्वेश्चन में सबसे ज्यादा दिक्कत आती है, वहां से अपनी मिस्टेक बाहर निकालो, उस तरीके के क्वेश्चन का वेरिएशन ढूंढो and solve all of them till you are perfect. That's how you crack an entrance exam. ठीक है? So you have to find your weaknesses also. It's not about your strength. It's about your weaknesses also, guys. So do make sure that you are finding the weaknesses for yourself. Now, essential habits that you need to keep if you are wanting to looking forward to cracking this paper. So 85 days, stay passionate about the exam. Feel like a lawyer. Do whatever it takes you to stay passionate. Okay. Reading is a very, very important skill for any lawyer or a law entrance exam. So do make sure that you are practicing on your reading. Make schedules and rules for you that I'll not go, I'll not watch Netflix. You have to make some like aversions from yourself so that you are able to see that you have a changed personality in you so that you can follow an own schedule. And you have to own that schedule also, right? That is what you have to do. Now, give mocks without fail. Don't skip on mocks and practicing every day. Even if you're going out somewhere, you didn't find time, take 20 minutes before you go to bed and try to solve some questions. And last is plan the exam completely. आपको हर second का idea होना चाहिए कि आप exam में जाके क्या करने वाले हैं. Okay, because when you are nervous, things change a little bit. So plan for each and everything. Okay, so that is it for today, guys. I hope you were able to understand something about the paper more, and you will be able to get to the top 5 law schools of your dream, and you will be able to achieve that dream within next 85 days. So do make sure that you are following all the tips and also following us on YouTube and hitting on that like button and also the subscribe button will be a great gesture for us, right? So thanks for joining this live session. Do make sure that you hit on the like, share and subscribe button, and do take care of yourself, and all the best for the future.